What's up, everyone? Welcome back. First order of business. Guess I'd like to thank everyone that just subscribed in the last week. Kind of, a very successful video for my standard, I guess. Almost reached 200 views on that one already, so gotta appreciate everyone for the comments and everything. I love reading y'all comments and whatnot. And so thanks for all those new subscribers. In the background, I hate to post the same race twice this week, but this is a really good finish. I ended up saving my tires pretty good. Qualified on pole, and now I'm trying to run this guy down for the win. So if you don't like what I'm saying right now about NASCAR, you can at least watch that. It's pretty entertaining. But anyway, without further ado, let's talk about the NASCAR playoffs that start tonight. I wanted to get this video out a little sooner, but I've been really having a hard time figuring out who I want in my final four and who I think the first four out are going to be. And might be kind of controversial, so we'll see what you guys have to say. Um, so for my first guy out in round one, I have Cole Custer. Pretty simple pick. I mean, the guy, in my opinion, didn't deserve to be in the playoffs without that win anyway. I mean, he wasn't even the best rookie this year. I think Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick were a lot better than him throughout the year. Tyler Reddick especially. I was kind of hoping he'd win Daytona, but kind of messed up there at the end and threw himself in the wall in front of the field. But yeah, not much to say about him. I mean, 5 DNFs this year. I mean, he's a rookie. I mean, but he did get that win, so that's good for him. But yeah, he's gonna be my first guy out. Second guy out, Austin Dillon. Again, I mean, he's been pretty decent this year in some subpar equipment, but at the same time, I just don't see him making it out of round one. Had a pretty good finish at Bristol, but you know, not the greatest at Darling. I mean, actually, he's pretty decent at Darlington, but Richmond, he's gonna really struggle. And without those extra playoff points, I just see him not making it the cut for the round of 12. Now, this is where my controversial opinions start. Number three, Alex Bowman. I mean, I just gotta say it. I think this guy is overrated and really doesn't belong in a Hendrick car. I mean, he was strong earlier in the season, at Charlotte and Fontana, but the guy's really struggled lately. I mean, an average finish of 17th, I don't think that guy deserves to be in the playoffs either. But, NASCAR wants to have 16 guys in the playoffs. It's up to them. Uh, so yeah, he's been pretty subpar, and these three tracks, Richmond, Bristol, and Darlington, are three tracks he struggles pretty bad at. So I could see him, not making it. And he sits in eighth place right now, but he only has 9 points and only 5 points to the cut line. So it's not like he has a huge buffer to make a lot of mistakes. And when you finish when you're struggling, you have an average finish of 17th throughout the season. You have an average finish of 17th at Richmond. You have an average finish of 25th at Darlington, and an average finish of 17th at Bristol. I mean, I just don't see him making it. Um, and my fourth one, this is gonna probably surprise a lot of people, and a guy who really has been pretty good this year, but Ryan Blaney, he's my fourth out. Why? Because he's not great at Richmond. His average finish at Richmond is 22.83. He had a 25th finish there last year and a 17th finish last year. I know he sits seventh in points, but again, he only has a 9 point lead to the cutoff. And three drivers that are in the cutoff. Actually, all four of these drivers, Matt DiBenedetto, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, and Clint Bowyer, you could arguably say that these three tracks are their strongest tracks. Matt DiBenedetto, I know he has a lot of people who think he's going to be out right away this round one, but you got to think about it. He almost ran Bristol last year. This is one of his best tracks. He ran great at Darlington earlier in the year, and Richmond, not so great, but I don't see that being a problem because he's going to be better than Ryan Blaney there. So I think he's going to make it to round 12, which I think is going to shock a lot of people. Kyle Busch, I know a lot of people think he's been really inconsistent this year, but a lot of that has to do with how many wrecks he's been in. He's had 5 DNFs this year, but he still has 11 top fives, and which is puts him in the almost the most. I think that puts him in the top five with in top fives this year. So I know it seems like Kyle Busch has really struggled, but it's just because he hasn't had a win yet. Once he gets going, I think he'll be all right. Kurt Busch, another guy. I see a lot of people having him out in round one. I don't understand. He's been one of the most consistent drivers this year. I mean, 14 top tens. That's pretty crazy. I mean, just because he doesn't have a win to show for it and only one stage win, that's why a lot of people have him out. But again, he's great at Bristol. He's great at Darlington, and he's decent enough at Richmond. I don't see him. I see him making it to the round of 12. Along with Clint Boyer, I know this stat really shocked me when I looked at it, but Clint Boyer leads all active drivers in average finish at Bristol since 2017. So like the modern era or whatever. So again, another guy I see making it past round two or the next round. And that's why I have Ryan Blaney out. Um, Now you can interchange Ryan Blaney with William Byron. I think I could see either the one of those guys making it out, but right now I just have Ryan Blaney making it out. The guy, I mean, the only thing that'll change is Ryan Blaney was really fast in the spring at Bristol, so and he led a lot of laps, so I could see him making it if he doesn't get wrecked. But again, Bristol is just you never know. Anything can happen. Now for my final four, I have Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., and Joey Logano. Um, the reason why I picked Joey Logano over most people, I think the first three are pretty given. I mean, those guys have pretty much been the three studs this year. I think Joey Logano is going to make a sneak out a win at Martinsville and end up making it to the playoffs. Now, one guy I have, I've been kind of, I mean, a lot of a guy that's been overlooked that I could see making the Final Four somehow, some way is Eric Almirola. If he can make it past the round of 12 and make it to the round of 8, those three tracks are arguably, or I mean, at least those two tracks are arguably his greatest. If he can sneak a win at Texas, you should watch out for Eric Almirola making it to the Final Four. But I think Kevin Harvick's going to win at Texas, so that could put a little stoppage to that. But we'll see. I want to keep an eye out on Eric Almirola. I know he gets a lot of hate and a lot of people think he's overrated, but I just don't think that's the case. Another thing I have to say is I think Kyle Busch doesn't make it past round two. I mean, you look at Talladega. I mean, anything can happen there. Anyone can get wrecked there, but I mean, Kyle Busch. I mean, he's the guy. He's going to be super aggressive. You can see him getting in a wreck there. And then the Roval. I mean, love Kyle Busch to death, but is not one of his best tracks. So I could see Kyle Busch not making it past round two. And then for my champion, I just have Kevin Harvick. I mean, the guy's been a stud all year. 7 wins. As I come up short there on the win and a little angry. I mean, this video is going a little longer than I expected. But yeah, I have Kevin Harvick winning the championship. I think this could be Denny Hamlin's year, but Harvick is just so strong at Phoenix. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, here, Dirt Street Stocks at at the Chili Bowl. That might be up later. I don't know. I pretty much suck there. Uh, but yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So thanks for tuning in. Feel free to drop your opinions in the comments below if you think I'm wrong. I'm sure I'll have a lot of people disagree with me, especially with my first round, with Alex Bowman and Ryan Blaney. Feel free to give me your final four, who you think is going to win the championship, and your first four out. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.